Well, hello Heidelberg. Colonel Bill Butcher, Commander of U.S. Army Garrison Baden-Wuerttemberg here in Heidelberg, Germany. Hey, many of you may have read in the 8 July edition of the Herald Post Lieutenant General Rick Lynch's command message, which talks about the Exceptional Family Member Program. And I thought it necessary this week in our video blog to kind of share some of what we're doing here in Heidelberg, specifically regarding the Exceptional Family Member Program, and also just discuss a little bit about what the program means to us as military members here overseas and in general. So, because I'm not the expert, as I always mention, I brought the expert with me. Mrs. Bushra Ghani is the Exceptional Family Member Program Manager here in Heidelberg, here in our Army Community Service, which is a division of Family Morale, Welfare, and Recreation. So, Mrs. Ghani, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate it. Hey, well, let's jump right into it. Would you just talk a little bit about the Exceptional Family Member Program itself? For many soldiers and families, it's just a screening process. But for those with an exceptional family member, it's much, much more. So can you just kind of describe the program itself?
Well, the Exceptional Family Member Program in place to help and assist soldiers and their families who do have family members who are in need of these kind of services. It is a program to help family members who have any kind of disability, intellectual, educational, medical disability. You know, a service member need to enroll their family members. The main reason for that is when they get assigned somewhere in Europe or going any area, they want to make sure that resources available for those family members.
Okay. Yep.
So that's the main thing for the Exceptional Family Member Program and the reason behind getting your family member enrolled in the EFMP program.
Okay. Well, so if you come here as a new service member with family, with an exceptional family member, what do you do? What's the process?
Well, we love to have you come and visit us in ACS. And when you come to ACS, we'll talk to you about Exceptional Family Member Program. What kind of exceptional family member, whether you have an adult or a child, and what is it you're enrolled your EFM for? Is it educational purposes or medical? And when we do that, we try to point you in the right direction for any of the services that you need. If you have a child, we'll tell you, for instance, there is an EDIS, which Early Intervention Services. They see children from 0 to 3.
Okay.
They make an assessment and they see if they need any kind of help with speech. They make an assessment and they see what they need, and they can follow them through school as well.
Yeah, one of the things you were talking about earlier that I think is amazing with regard to this program is if I have an exceptional family member, their specific needs are supported by many people. And you talked about the SNAP process. Yes. Can you tell our audience a bit more about the SNAP process?
Our SNAP process is a special needs resource team. That is a team that it consists of the Exceptional Family Member Program Manager, myself, as a chair for that team. We have the community health nurse. We have the child care services director, or the chief of child care services, which is CDC, CYS, all the programs that provide services for children. And the providers who are providing care for those children. We meet twice a month in order to see if there is any need that we need to accommodate for that child. We want to make sure the child who is attending child care services have all in place, have all the support that he or she needs. If a child who needs a small or a more structured environment, so we train the provider about that. If a child gets enrolled in CDC and he have food allergies, we want to make sure that the provider know about these food allergies. So it's a process that look for the safety of that child and as well as the providers who are providing for them.
That's fantastic. An education process for those who provide support to the child or the adult exceptional family member.
Yes.
You know, I tell you, just listening to you earlier today, I'm really proud of what we're doing in Heidelberg. But I'd also like for the audience to kind of get a sense of the landscape of our exceptional family members. And what is it? Describe Heidelberg and its exceptional family members.
Okay, we have support groups that we offer for our families, and we like them to come out and be in those support groups so they don't feel isolated, because other people do share the same things with them, and they talk about what works for them, and they get to share ideas and make friends. So we have an ADHD support group, and we have autism support group that they meet once a month.
Fantastic.
The other highlight of the two best practices that we do have in Heidelberg that's not really available in other community in Europe would be the teen social. It's one of our I'm very proud with that group. It's been growing, and the participation is wonderful in that group. We meet every first Friday of each month from 7 to 9 o'clock, and that's a support group. It's a social group that they meet to improve their social skills. They play board games, and they play cards, and they talk to each other, and oftentimes we have volunteers who come, like a school psychologist, school counselor, to come for that, to meet with that in that group. So we meet once a month, and we don't have any meeting this coming month or for August, but we're going to meet again in September, beginning of the school year.
Wonderful. I also know that you, we invite in our exceptional family members and their families to the theater for each of our plays here in Heidelberg. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. The Rothstein Theater, they come here because they come here to Heidelberg, and they have a special showing day only for EFMP families. And last time we had Cats, it was in March, and it was a full house, and it was great to see all the families of EFMs and their siblings come and attend the show. And it was just a show for the EFMs.
Wow, that's wonderful. Well, I know that we have 706 exceptional family members here in the Heidelberg community, and I know you care for all of them. You got a couple things coming up this summer that I wanted to just make sure the audience was aware of. Could you talk a little bit about your special guest that you have on the 5th of August, and also the summer camp, the 16th through the 20th?
Yes, there is a Dr. Louvet who does an ABA therapy. He's a TRICARE provider approved, and they do provide, they have over 27 providers in the US, and he's coming to visit Europe, so I invited him to come and give an overview about this technique of therapy for autistic children.
Fantastic.
So he's coming to ACS on August 5th from 5:30 till 6:30, so please, if you have any if you like to know more about this practice.
Okay, and where could someone find out more information? I know there's flyers out. You said at 5:30 to 6 on the 5th of August here in the ACS building.
Correct. They can find everything else on the website, on the MWR website.
And would you just talk about summer camp before?
Summer camp. It is going to be on the August 16th through the 20th. We're going to meet every day in Patrick Henry Village and the Lions Den. And we have 3 outings. We're going to take the kids to a technical museum in Mannheim. We're taking another day to Louisiana Park, another day to the Heidelberg Zoo. So we're excited about that.
Wow. I just got to see the elephant house at the Heidelberg Zoo. I'm sure the kids are going to love it.
Yes.
Well, Ms. Ghani, thank you so much for what you do. I just want to make sure our audience knows that Ms. Ghani's worked in EFMP in 3 different communities, here, Kaiserslautern, and back in the U.S. at Fort McPherson. So thanks so much for what you've done for soldiers, civilians, and family members over the years. We truly appreciate it. And Heidelberg, we look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you.